It's hard really to think back 10 years ago as to what the community was like before Achiezer. There was probably a lot more stress in the community. People were not sure how, if they had an issue, whether it was health related or finance related and so on and so on. They really didn't know where to go, and quite frankly, in many instances, there was nowhere to go.
A little over 10 years ago, I met Baruch Ber, and he started talking to me about this idea that he had.
Baruch Ber and David Blum came to my house and said, "We want you to be part of Achiezer." And I said, "What is Achiezer?"
He described something to me that I thought was revolutionary, unusual.
Baruch Ber showed up in my office one day with a handwritten piece of paper in his pocket, and he started reading off all the things that he thinks an Achiezer can accomplish for our community.
My brother-in-law, actually, Aaron Zelig Rosenberg, said to me, if you want to do something with chesed, you want to help people, go talk to Rabbi David Greenblatt. And I found myself in Rabbi Greenblatt's living room, and he said, it's amazing, it's a must, it's a necessity. Go buy yourself a phone right now. You know, in those days, I actually didn't carry 4 cell phones.
Then we got together with a group of people, and we sat down and we started figuring out how we were going to accomplish some of these things. 10 years later today, you know, hundreds and hundreds of calls are being answered 24/7 from littlest things that people might need to, unfortunately, tragic situations, and Achiezer is filling that need.
What makes Achiezer special, in my opinion, is that it has united the community.
We were going to have an office that was going to service everybody and be there for everybody. And people were like, no, you need to have one organization for every side of town. And we said, no, we're going to show them, we're going to accomplish the impossible. And it was beautiful how every rabbi, every rav, every corner of the community said, Achiezer is ours, and we're going to make it ours.
At the time, I thought Baruch Ber was a dreamer. And I said, you'll never be able to get everybody to work together. But he did just that. And it's been an amazing ride.
We went over to the Cedar Center, and we took an office with like 200 square feet. We bought a notebook, and we just started jotting down doctors' names. That's really how it started. And it's like a little database that when someone needs a doctor, they now have a place to go.
When Sandy came along, we were a small organization, and overnight we went from probably a few phone calls a day to a few hundred phone calls a day.
Hurricane Sandy, you know, made it clear to people that there was a void that Achiezer was able to step into and address. And clearly post that, you know, it has had a different profile and just a different level of impact.
We didn't even know we needed it until we had it and we needed it. And Achiezer is just there for any need that you need anytime.
When people come into the office now and they point to the sign and they say, you know, what does it mean, Achiezer? And I tell them it means helping a brother. It's so profound, but so simple at the same time. And I think it almost needs no explanation. We're there to help people.
Achiezer is a 311 for chesed.
It's one place where you can go no matter what your needs are, no matter what the crisis is, and you will get help.
Knowing that there's somebody who always answers the call and is there to help you figure it out is priceless.
One of the most busiest departments is the medical recommendations. And people know that when they call here, we will do everything in our power to get them the best specialists and the best care that exists anywhere.
The community, be it Far Rockaway, the 5 towns, West Hempstead, knows that they can call 791-4444 and get an answer 24/7.
There's no greater feeling than to know that you can make that phone call.
When my father was nifter, it was very late at night, and Baruch Ber was already there with members of Achiezer, just taking care of everything, doing it in such a dignified way and being so comforting to our family. Thank you, Achiezer, for always being there for me, for my family, for the community. I'm just so grateful.
One of the greatest additions we've had to this organization about 7 years ago was bringing in Dr. Bracha LOWINGER, who oversees our mental health department.
The mental health spotlight that Achiezer has really helped forge in this community. It's knocked down a lot of preconceived ideas on mental health, and they've created an environment where you can really come for help, which is not available anywhere else that I've seen.
I think one of the most critical services that Achiezer fills in this community is the hospital support division. We have families that are landing up in a hospital, whether it's due to a traumatic incident or some other type of situation, and they're desperate for information. One phone call to Achiezer, all of that will be addressed.
I was hit by a car in the Bronx. There was a possibility I may not walk again on my own 2 feet, and I was transferred to the nearest hospital. At that point, Baruch Ber and his entire Achiezer staff, they acted immediately. They transferred me to the best top hospital in New York City with the best doctors to care for my injury. With their help, I now walk, run, and in about 8 weeks I'll be dancing by my wedding.
Nowhere else in the community can you find a group that is able to advise people on how to get themselves out of trouble that they may be in today financially, but how to avoid it in the future.
Achiezer has a tremendous staff of experts who actually counsel people, get them on track, help people make involved and informed decisions.
I believe neighborhood-wide, people sleep better at night, knowing that Achiezer is there to help them.
I think that Achiezer has shown us that when there is somebody suffering, it's our problem.
There would not be a 5 towns community as solidified and as unified without this organization.
To have somebody look at the broader picture and see the entire community at large and see what the needs are, that revolutionized Chesed.
A board that carries that message that we're here together is the only way anyone could understand Achiezer.
I had no idea that I was going to be an honoree at this dinner. I thought it was more of a, let's mention that there's a board that's been around for 10 years, but I guess here we are. Honestly, I had no idea this whole thing. He mentions me on the phone and passing, and I didn't even tell my wife.